church is behind this awful building. You can see this university building here, well just behind it you might just see the spire. It's like Sheffield units just took over everything in the city. £9 a year university fees, £6 a year for your accommodation, and then whatever else they can spin out. To all those people who say you're not coming back in Sheffield, well, if you don't do something about it, this is coming to where you live. This little building here on the left was the, I'm trying to think of the name of it now, the Henderson's Relish. So that's another little bit of history going. That's a walk down into town for the university. Not exactly a lot of people, is there? But it's not the Sheffield I loved. Might have been dirtier, but it was more exciting. I was taking you up to Glossop Road up there. Harley's must be a pub. Well, I think the West End was around it, but I can't remember where the West End was. So here is West Street. Take you down into the city centre, full of flats, pubs, not a lot else. Just give you a bit of a view around it. So it says Glossop Road there, but I'm sure that goes into West Street. I've got my Wednesday shirt on today, and that's why I'm getting a few pics as I go around. But we're actually coming down towards Bramall Lane at the moment. And Bramall Lane, like everywhere else, has been destroyed. It had a lot more character. And Bramall Lane actually came further up into town as well. When they actually changed the roads, put Air Street in and places like that, they actually shortened the length of Bramall Lane. And the original Bramall Lane bridge is now actually hidden. It's a bit boring around here, so just bear with me as I come. Around the corner. I left HSBC in 2000, sorry. That's 23 years ago, and I just can't believe the changes within a 20-year period, especially during lockdown. I was feeling uncomfortable in Sheffield back in 2000 working there because of the poor bus service and also poor train service that I started using. But all the nice little bakery shops that were around, they've all gone now. They've all been completely wiped out. So I'll just stop the video till I get round the corner and then I'll pick back up. As you can see, we've got an odd church around Sheffield, but when I look on the old plans for Sheffield, we had a lot more churches in Sheffield and they've been wiped out in the past. So we're coming down to St Mary's Road. So that's a court building there. Oh no, King's Court, Department for Work and Pensions. But I'm sure there's cheaper ways to actually reduce pollution, but I think the drive has nothing to do with reducing pollution. It's purely about making more money, and that's what net zero's about. It's not, if you really wanted to reduce pollution, there's much simpler and easier ways to do it. See some of the old industry around here, but it's not going to be here much longer. So hard when the council doesn't really want you. Well, like a large company like Forgemasters, and I think that's been taken over by MOD, but they won't let you little small engineering companies, won't give them help. So all the free parking on the side streets, you know, if I came to this end of town I'd be able to park on the side streets. Like if you're in a real rush you could jump in a car park, but if you've got the time you park on a side street. Well, all that has all gone now. It'll be limited time. Here where you can see this big building is I've been told, people inform me, it's an electric substation, and it's actually listed as far as I know. Does anybody recognise Sheffield anymore? I don't know if they're old flats or new flats. It's been reconditioned. That tall building there was going to be much taller, and they've actually stopped building it at a certain level. So we're coming into what looks like a hole in the road, and I was informed by Jack Black that the hole in the road originally was going to have a glass dome on top, which I never knew. Well, I've seen plans for the monorail over the top of it in the 1970s, but I never saw anything about having a glass dome on the top. Jack knows his stuff. Look at that, just more student flats everywhere. But to say they put all the cycle paths in, there's nobody cycling, is there? There's not even many walking. So I'm definitely on St Mary's Gate now. That's the electric substation. Whether it's still used, I don't know. Waitrose across there. So there you are. If that's student accommodation, it's 500 quid a month, which is where I come up with the £6 a year fee for students for accommodation. Does anybody know where we are? Got St Mary's Church coming up. Now, just here we got the Manpower building, and that was one of the worst decisions they did. Basically blocking the moor off, because the moor came a lot further down, and putting this awful building here, and I'm told that it's going to become flats. That's London Road down there. Just have a quick look. It says South Lane on there, but I'm sure that's London Road. That's just going to be more flats. They're modern flats. But everything just looks the same, doesn't it? No character. There's all this cry for cycles, and I'm not seeing anybody on cycles all the time I've walked around the ring road. So all these units down here, Office World and whatever, they're all now derelict. I think that's going to be more flats. So at the bottom of the moor you can just see the Moor Market up there, which I'll just zoom in for you. There's the Moor Market. Like I said, all this area is now just derelict. You want to live in there? Because these pocket parks aren't real parks. They're not like the original Peace Gardens. So we're coming into like another hole in the road. Trying to find where I go now. Yeah, I can go through this one. But just imagine with a disc on top, that being the hole in the road. But the cheapskates didn't put the glass dome on top. More flats. St Mary's Church again, different angle. I've not noticed these flats before. It'd be interesting to do a few more freedom of information requests with the council, asking them how much the ring road cost, but also how much flat accommodation there is in Sheffield, because somewhere they must have figures. The accommodation, because they have to be licensed, don't they? I do say to people, get in Sheffield, see what's really going off. And if you don't do anything, this will be your community next. So we're now going to turn sort of left. There's two sort of parts to the ring road here, but I'm probably going to do the short of it. It's probably more interesting as well.
Well, originally I didn't know if it was going to go that way, or what way back.
Do get the odd interesting building. Well, it's just more flats. It's such a divisive community that all the original community's gone. Does anybody see the next door neighbours in these flats? So we're going to be turning left down Shoreham Street in a moment. Like I said, there's sort of two bits of a loop here on it. You can either immediately left here, or you go on a bit further. But it's all going to come onto the same road, part of the ring road. So that's Shoreham Street, takes you up to Bramall Lane football ground. That'll take you to the Cop End. We're now walking back into town. So like I say, you can go down there and turn left, but it's just two parts of the same bit of ring road. But it just gives you an idea what's going on down here now.